everybody. I'm live. It's Heidi. So this is Heidi from Cocoon, and y'all should be excited. I was just telling her that after last night's camera catastrophes, I will not be filming like part of this of my stomach and my boobs. I have successfully bungee corded the selfie stick to the guitar stand, so I should be able to actually put the phone down. So we're moving up in the world. But this is, for those of you who don't know, Heidi Stone Black, who, that's like the coolest name ever, by the way. I always have like name jealousy. No, I like my name, but yeah, Heidi Stone Black sounds like you should be like, I don't know, part Native American and in some sort of a movie doing something awesome, so.
Well, I am now.
Well, there you go. That works out then. So Heidi is one of my favorite crochet artists, and she specializes in using lots of hand-spun yarn and interesting yarn, and so I'm have never actually gotten the chance to fully pick her brain. So I'm just gonna put her on the spot and do it live. So
Take away.
Yeah, well, Heidi lives currently, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, like outside of Cleveland, Ohio.
Cincinnati.
Okay.
Yep.
So
close, but not quite.
Not quite. And are you from that area, or have you moved there?
No, where I'm from. Originally from Idaho. So I'm like, I like the snow a lot. But I was raised in Southern California.
Oh, not so much snow there. So I see if you were going to go into the woolen hat business, you had to move somewhere colder.
Yeah. So my husband's from Cincinnati. So.
Very cool. And he is a woodworker, right? Isn't your husband a woodworker?
He is. He's by trade, he's actually a metal worker, but he, how many years has it been now? Been probably like 8 years now since he started woodworking.
Yeah, it's been.
So he started working for his brother in California, actually making tables. And he just fell in love with it. So now we both play with wood.
Well, that brings me to my next question of how did you fall in love with all things like crocheted as far as hats and baby blankets and everything goes?
One of my really good friends, Odette, she actually makes beautiful things also. You can find her on Instagram. I'm trying to remember her name on there because she doesn't use her real name. I'll think of it soon enough.
We can put it in the show notes later so you can message.
Yeah. So she taught me to crochet because I had a lot of anxiety. And she will tell you that she created a monster because she showed me how to make a scarf. And I then was like, but what about hats here? And so I started teaching her how to make hats and gloves. And I just love it. It's fun. And then, I never loved hand-spun yarn until I got a hold of your yarn.
Well, that's always nice, but I didn't, like I said, I always say I know just enough about crochet to be dangerous. Oh, hold on. Philip is, once again, trying to commandeer my,
Hello, Mike.
The speaker we have is, actually my husband's. It's, this speaker right here, and it's, like, Bluetoothed to, like, his phone, so then when he tries to listen to podcast, it randomly becomes possessed by the devil and starts talking. So, behind the scenes of last night, thankfully, before we started filming live, so my mom, who luckily is also, not, like, easily scandalized or anything, I had her on and was filming her, and I was, like, trying to get the speaker on, and I forgot that it was Bluetoothed, and he was downstairs, doing stuff to a brisket because he was like smoking, and he had a podcast on that I believe was Joey Diaz, who's like a really filthy comic who we love. And and he's got like this, he's Cuban, he's like this huge Cuban dude. So and he has a super distinctive voice. Like we've seen him in Portland at the Helium Comedy Room there and stuff, and we love him, but like he has this really distinctive voice. I'm like talking to my mom, and then all of a sudden Joey Diaz is on, and I cannot repeat what it was he was saying, but it was It was very funny and very, like, out of left field and very dirty. And, like, my mom and I both were just like, what? So I then was like, oh shit, this thing is this thing is a Bluetooth compatible. So I then got that switched off, and that was not what my mom was talking about. So I think we almost did that again right now. So fear not, the Bluetooth is off, and so we will not have any like random filthy Cuban phrases coming out of your mouth tonight. So that's good.
I feel like I'm in like a kung fu movie now.
Yeah, no, it looked like you were had like bad dubbing for like a Joe Diaz film. It is bad though, because like we love podcasts, we really like stand-up comedians, and we used to listen to, well, both of us used to listen to them in the car a lot, but now that like we have kids, so it doesn't really affect him like driving to work, but like me, like I can't listen to any of them anymore, because it's, you know, like we don't mind like the occasional cussing here or there or whatever, like joke that goes over their heads, but I'm like, yeah, we don't need like Uncle Joey like going along for the ride here.
Yeah.
So we've had to we've had to cut back on, or at least I have in the car, so that's what we do like when the kids are asleep. But so back to how you got hooked on yarn before the speaker interrupted us there.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I always say I know just enough about crocheting to, like, be dangerous. Like, I basically knew how to do, even though your last crochet along did help me a lot. But I knew how to do, like, singles, doubles, like, half doubles, and triples. So I could make, like, lots of squares, and I could do circles. But your stuff, I think I fell into the category of knitters who were kind of snobby and were like, crochet's cool and all, but, you know, knitting's what's up. And then when I was looking, like, when I met you and was looking at all of your hats, because I never really thought of, like, crochet hats as, like, fitting super. Like I said, I had all these, like, unfair biased things against crochet. But they have, like, your cable work. Like, I didn't even know you could, and this is just me sounding stupid, I didn't even know you could do cable work, like, I didn't crochet.
Know that either.
So I always feel like we need to enlighten people on that.
I felt like I was totally being ripped off, because like I couldn't believe that I didn't knit, and I really wanted a cabled hat so bad that I did my research, and like how you make a new pattern, especially when you're trying to make something like that, you have to just like find all the best, you know, cabled crochet patterns basically, and come up with your own off of what you've learned.
Why do you think there's not more available? I mean, just in the press, pictures, patterns, whatever, that are crocheted that have more of that like knitted fabric look to them, or cables like yours do?
Because I like the way knitting looks, but it's just with crochet, it's funny because like I like really small projects because they go fast, and with crochet, it's bigger stitches, so it goes faster.
Well, crochet is really fun. Like, I don't do it as often, but like I was another one of our friends, Fiona Langtree. I did a big like open cowl pattern of hers, and I was like having a blast. I was like, man, it's like a good palette cleanser from like knitting all the time. So yeah, I really want to learn more.
Now I'm knitting. I mean, yeah, I'm practicing with like mill spun yarn, but I can't wait to get some hand spun stuff on there.
Yeah, knitting's definitely, it's a different crochet. It's like fun. It's like skipping almost. Like it has like a fun rhythm to it.
Yeah, it's just a totally different flow. And I feel like knitting generally, as a rule, it has more like of a malleable feel to it. Like it moves better.
I always felt like knitting made like fabric, and crochet made more like a textured woven something or other.
Right. Yes.
Technical terminology there, but
that was my whole plan with my hats and stuff. I wanted to make it feel closer to knitting than crochet.
Well, I think you've hit the nail on the head, and that was, besides selfish reasons, that I knew you would forgive my lack of tech figuring out with this. I wanted to interview you for Gin and Spin because, one, I'm nosy, and two, I know you're getting more into writing patterns, and I mean, like I said, I wasn't sure, like, if it was just me or what, but I definitely feel like your designs offer a lot that maybe other people are doing, but I just hadn't found, but whether you're ready-made things, just purchasing them, or, like, if you were learning to do it yourself, it's definitely a different ball game from what I see with a lot of crochet, because I get tagged a lot on Instagram. Like, I'm followed by a lot of different, like, crochet accounts, and so I always check out everybody's work, and, like, you know, a lot of it, I mean, it's gorgeous, but it all kind of looked the same, and yours almost, it's kind of like, what is that?
People don't know what I do. Do you knit, or is this knit, or is it crochet? Because it looks like knit, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's
no,
like
it's
crazy
not.
witchcraft.
Sorry.
For sure. So
I feel the same, where it's just like it's all the same.
Yeah, it definitely can get boring. So I know we just did a crochet along. It was a lot of fun, and like I said, definitely helped. It was also for purely selfish reasons of me getting to learn. Like, I actually was pretty bad. Like, I did follow the pattern, but for the most part, I just would like queue up the videos and be like, all right, I'm just gonna do what Heidi's doing in this video. So that was really helpful for me to you know, it kind of held my hand, like learning some new things, and the front post back post thing you were talking about, and so that was all awesome. I'm wanting to do, and if you heard Mom and I rambling last night, we are excited about the show Outlander, because we're dorks, and we were excited about the series, even though I haven't finished it yet, because
I hear there's a lot of beautiful knits in there.
There are. Yeah, you should, if you have stars, or if you don't have stars, I don't know, we'll talk later, but you need to watch it. There are, like, you could basically watch it on mute for, like, good-looking, somewhat naked men, and knits. So, knits and crochets. So, if you like good-looking men and knits and crochets, then it is the show for you. And,
sounds like it's right up my alley.
Yeah, no, it's definitely right up mine and Mom's alley, and like everybody else, so like I said, it's my mom is not a big trashy romance novel reader. Like, I know a lot of people's moms, like from the 80s or whatever, like a lot of my friends' moms always had like the trashy romance novel collection. My mom was not, but the Outlander series was like her jam. So like me and Dad always picked on her about it. And then when I was in like high school, I read the first book, and I was just like, whoa, what's Mom been reading? So it definitely
what are you reading, Mom?
Yeah, I was like, what are you reading, Mom? But no, it's definitely a really good book. It's very historical. So I want to do sort of a shawl knit along, crochet along thing, and we're sort of, I know there are some patterns out there. Lion Brand, I think, has some like patterns you can purchase, and not meaning to like shit talk them, but I don't know, they're just like not that exciting.
Hear all the growling in the background. That's my dogs playing.
Oh, it's cool. If you hear like something that sounds like a smoke detector in the background, it's my parrot. He imitates a smoke detector occasionally, so no judgment. But I don't. Have you ever designed a wrap, like a shawl or anything, or like a cowl? Is that like your jam? Do you do cowls or wraps at all?
Cowls and stuff. They're not really like my favorite thing. I don't know why.
You also do really good fingerless gloves.
Knit versus the crochet. I feel like knit feels better for a cowl.
I dig that. Well, there also are some really amazing fingerless gloves in this show, because the main character's like a doctor who goes back in time, so she's like always out like gathering a bunch of herbs and whatnot. And has these, like, really dope fingerless gloves on. So I know you are the fingerless,
right there.
Yeah, I know you're like the fingerless glove queen. So
yeah,
we'll have to figure something out, because I was wanting to either find like a cowl or shawl pattern, or maybe one of each that everybody could like knit along, but I did want to have like a crochet option for people that wanted to crochet. And I had the whole point's just going to be to have fun, and I'll like give away some prizes or something for doing it. So should be a good time. So that'll maybe, I think the show comes back on in November, so that's probably when we'll do that.
Right.
So besides crocheting all the things into magical, like it doesn't even look like crochet patterns, I know you are a Pilates instructor, correct?
I am. I torture people for a living.
And you do it's the ones with the machines, right?
Yeah, and actually my machine is right here. It's got crap all over it.
Super jealous.
It's laying right there.
Oh yeah, I have a cousin that is real big on one of those. I love Pilates and I do yoga every day, but and I try to do like some Pilates in with my yoga for core
Right.
strengthening and what have you. But I've never gotten to use one of those machines. What do you think is like the benefit of that versus mat?
Um, well, with mat classes, it's all you. You don't have assistance, but you also don't have resistance.
Hey, I got a lot of
So
resistance. Like you get
to
my
do
butt
that,
going against
you already
gravity.
have to be strong. And for some people, that's really dangerous. A lot of my clients are actually very injured.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
So I work with like injury prevention and helping them kind of like, I feel like they're puzzles. Like I'm trying to put it back together the right way because it's been put together the wrong way for so long, and trying to just sort things out, basically unwind things a little bit.
Girl, we
But
definitely need a wormhole. I need my hips like taken apart and put back together, like big time.
absolutely, I know that feeling.
Yeah, well, it's getting better. I went and saw like a reflexologist, and I don't know what she did to my feet, my hips, but it definitely helped a lot. So,
Reflexology is no joke, man.
yeah, no, it really wasn't. My Philip was like, "So, what all did you do?" And I'm like, "I have no clue what she did, but look, you can walk on their left foot." And I'm
You're
not
like,
doing
oh,
like
it was magic.
yeah. I was like, it's magical. I don't know what it is, but I'm not walking in a circle like a crab anymore because like one of my hips is so tight, so I don't care. But
Yes.
so yeah, it was all about that. Well, are you moving more into doing pattern design, or are you going to be doing like 50-50 between like what you
I
got
think
coming up?
it'll be 50-50. I have a great local crowd, and then, I've got most of my customers are repeat customers, which is great, because that in itself is a testament to what I'm doing. And I like making things. I want to make things that people love. And so doing the patterns is just kind of sharing
Cool.
what. So.
I'm excited you're doing that, but I own some of your ready-made things too, and they're definitely because even though I do knit and crochet, like I'm so busy making all the yarn, I don't actually
Right.
get to do that for myself too often. So I'm always like really excited that I now have like a collection of your stuff and I can just wear
Right.
it instead of having to make it. So do you
Yeah.
have like a new collection coming up at any certain time people need to know and be excited about?
Definitely soon. I don't have a date yet, but I mean, there's going to be knit things in it.
Ooh.
I posted that somewhere on Facebook.
That's really pretty. I don't think it's two different colors. I don't think on Facebook I realized that somehow.
Actually, it's a Lion brand yarn, which
It's
is really
pretty.
funny.
I like Lion brand.
But like it's washable. So, but I like to practice my patterns with mill spun, just so I can get the hang of it and like write it down.
Oh yeah,
And
I
so
definitely love me some mill spun. So I mean, I'm definitely not hating on.
this pattern will be turned definitely into some hand spun yarn.
Well, it's gonna be pretty. I'm really excited. I know we have a bunch of stuff coming your way. Well, and I know another cool thing we've both been kind of. I know I'm excited that it's like I get to be a part of it, like via you, even though I didn't really have anything to do with coming up with it. Was you've been making a lot of things out of the faux cashmere hand spun, which I think have been getting used for like chemo hats because it's so soft, and that always makes me happy.
And the people that I've made the chemo hats for, it's gonna make me cry. They're little kids.
Oh, yeah, I can't even think about it.
There. But they, they just love them. They wear them all the time. They don't want to take them off. And, that in itself is great. One of the little girls just got her Make-A-Wish trip, though.
This isn't the one I know about,
really
is it?
Ruby.
Yeah.
The one that you make the yarn for.
Is she the one that just did a Make-A-Wish trip?
She got her Make-A-Wish trip. But she is doing very well, which is great. I've made her 2 hats now, and they are just so soft. And then another little girl I made one for, she actually just found out that she is officially cancer-free.
Yay, that's wonderful.
So yeah, that's great news. But yeah.
Well, I know I feel like I tell a lot of people about that, and that's about as
Yeah.
much as I can ever say about it, and then I just have to change the subject because I'll get too upset. But,
It really like gets to you.
yeah, I can't,
Little.
like, my brain doesn't even let me think anymore about that sort of thing, or I just can't
Yeah.
deal with it, so... Okay, well, enough about that, but that is something I was just talking to somebody at one of our local markets here that they had a mom or somebody that had a really bad wool allergy, but, like, loved to knit and wanted art yarn. So I was, like,
Right.
telling her all about, like, the faux cashmere and your stuff, and so then that got me to talking about your, because I knew you were doing, like, leukemia hats, and, we've done a lot of the different, like, ribbon colors. So
Yes.
if people are interested in buying that sort of thing, should they just contact you directly?
Absolutely.
Okay, and you've got an email list and everything, and I'll make sure that's in, like, the YouTube show notes.
Yes.
And you've got, I think, a discount code on some of your stuff, so I'll...
Oh, yeah. And especially for stuff like that, I would probably even discount it more just because, like, I mean, give them a break, man.
Yeah, I feel you.
Somebody's going to give them a break.
I feel you. Well, I will definitely put all that contact information. So we have to get to the part where I am. It's not gin tonight. It's actually, what is it? It's the Winking Owl Chardonnay from Aldi,
Oh,
which is the cheapest, bestest of all the wine, favorite of broke college students and cheap housewives everywhere. So that's what I'm drinking.
Mind yet.
So Mom was drinking water. What are you drinking? What?
Wild Ohio
Oh,
tea beer.
very cool. Tea beer? I've never even heard of a tea.
Yes. Yes, it's like all the rage right now. And this company actually made one that doesn't have wheat or anything added to it.
Oh, it's like gluten-free tea beer.
It is. And yeah, so I have like a million food allergies. And that's one of them.
Well, I'm going to have to pick your brain for some, like, gluten-free stuff, because since I'm battling the PCOS, in my latest adventures of Aaron goes to yet another doctor to figure out what I should or should not be eating or doing or whatever, because I don't like medicine, so I just got off all the medicine. So now I'm seeing reflexologists and Chinese medicine people and standing on my head or whatever.
Right direction, my friend.
Good. Well, like I said, that tends to be what works for me, but I'm attempting to go not gluten-free, but, like, definitely limiting that sort of thing according to this guy, so I'll have to hit you up for some recipes.
Absolutely.
Get the old ovaries whipped back into shape, I guess, so good times. So everybody's been like, what have you been doing this summer? And I'm like, I don't know, like, battling it out with my ovaries, and, like, Dee Dee got a infected bug bite, and then we, like, went on vacation, and that was awesome, and I, like, made a lot of yarn. Like, how was your summer? So
that's like the greatest answer ever.
Yeah, well,
just say like, oh, we went to the Bahamas or something.
Well, since you're kind of like a jack of all trades, when people are like, oh, what do you do, like, at a party or something, like, what do you tell them? Because I'm trying to...
that's a tough one for me. Automatically, I tell them that I am a Pilates instructor. And then they're like, well, what is that? Is that like yoga? And I'm like, don't even talk to me anymore. Yoga doesn't even compare to the yogurt. Anyway. So yeah, what I tell them, it's like if you took ballet and yoga and mixed it together and added springs.
That is an awesome description. I took a really scary mat class from this, like, beautiful little Austrian woman in college, and she was like, she was really scary. Her name was Eva, and she was really sweet, but she was like Arnold Schwarzenegger Barbie when she was, like, doing the Pilates instructing, and I, like, wouldn't even be able to move, like, the next day, but she was pretty amazing. So that was my Pilates introduction.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I never know what to tell people.
It's hard. It's really hard. If it's not hard, it's not Pilates.
Exactly. No, this was definitely hard. Like, it was, I thought I was going to die.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I wish I had access to her class now, but this was like a million years ago in college back in Charleston. But,
yeah.
I never know what to tell people. I think I'm just going to instruct my children to tell people that, like, mommy's a hustler, and then just let them, like, figure that out. I don't know.
Just teach them to say, she's a mother effing hustler.
Yeah, no, that's what we're gonna have to go with. So, because I feel like I do so many different things, like with the spinning wheels, and then like I teach stuff. Yeah, it's gotten to be like too diversified to explain.
Right.
And I was just talking about this with my dad because he is wonderful and likes to brag about me. He's like, I never know what to tell people you do. And I'm like, so we were like trying to come up with what dad could tell people I do. And I was like, just tell them like I own my own business. And then if they inquire, be like, stuff with yarn. And then if they inquire, you can get more like specific. So I used
Tell them you're a fiber artist, because you totally are.
Well, I know, but that, like, to me sounds weird. Like, I grew up in, like, this little town in the South where, like, if you were, like, I'm a fiber artist, they'd think you were, like, kind of douchey and pretentious. So, like, I never... Like, even though that's the most accurate, like, I'm never really sure, like, what I'm supposed to be saying. So I'm just gonna go with, mother effing hustler, I guess.
Or, hustler, I like it.
Well, or we can go with fiber broker. Philip sometimes tells people I'm, like, a fiber broker. So
yeah, I would be like, what is that?
I do often feel like, because I work with so many like small local farms, that it always looks like we're doing some sort of like weird drug deal, because we're like, all right, Barb, I'll meet you in the parking lot at Hobby Lobby at 10 on Monday. And then like we both roll up in our Subarus, and I got like the girls in the back, and then like I meet these like random lady farmers, and like they hand me suspicious stuff in bags, and I'm like, I'll send you the money, Barb, I'll send you the money. So, yeah, I know we totally look like, I keep waiting on some cop to, like, roll up and be like, what are y'all doing? And then, like, my girls are going to be in the car seats in the back, like, eating blueberries and, like, talking about sheep. So, yeah, I don't know. It's funny.
You're like, I'm just buying some alpaca.
Yeah, like, it's alpaca, sir. Haven't you seen it? It's black and lovely. Like, I need a pound of the white, Barb. Your best stuff. Top quality. I'm just making stuff up. I don't know anything about drugs, so that's probably, like, that may or may not be a good drug reference, because I don't know anything about drugs, like, at all. So, I'm, like, one of those people that, those horrible shows that come on, like, the Discovery Channel that are, I don't know, about, like, biker gangs or something, and then they always have, like, the definitions for, like, the really square people in the audience. Like, I'm one of those people, so,
And here's what this means.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, so we have seen what you are drinking. It is the gluten-free beer, and even though you are learning to spin on the drop spindle, I'm assuming you are crocheting, but it looks like you're knitting.
I am knitting.
Yep.
Working on, not the same hat I just had on, but similar in style, but slightly different.
Gotcha.
Cohesiveness.
Very cool. Okay, let's see if I can actually, here we will pan out now, and you can see this was actually one of my latest creations, which Heidi can't see, she'll have to see later. It was a FF French pie shawl, and I've got like the hand spun on the edge, and then we've got some cool yarn from Fancy Tiger Crafts, and then some stash yarn, but it has turned into a bench cover. So I'm going to, hold on, now you're looking at my bookcase, and now you're looking at me, so let's see if I can get the camera to stay in the bungee corded thing, so you can actually watch some spinning, because since this is called Gin and Spin, I should actually probably do that. So this is the merino hand-dyed, which is a lot of what we make for Heidi. And we're working on some fall colors, so I've kind of pre-stripped it out here. And, oh, this is going to be nice. So much less drama than last night with my mom. But this is the Pollywog, and so I'm just going to spin and go back to making Heidi talk. But I did want to actually make some yarn on this podcast. So tell me an adventure.
What? An adventure?
An adventure, yeah. It can involve yarn or sheep or not, or maybe beer.
Ooh, well, my husband and I went out tonight to our local giant international market.
Ooh.
We were 8 friends there, but they had to cancel. But we went anyway. And they have a kombucha bar.
Oh, man.
Do you know what kombucha is?
I do.
Okay, so they have a kombucha bar that doesn't just have regular kombucha. They also have, like, kombucha beer.
Well, tell the good folks who don't know what kombucha is what kombucha is.
Okay, kombucha is like fermented tea. It's loaded with probiotics. It's delicious and can be good for you in moderation. But when it's got 8% alcohol.
Ooh, I didn't know they made it alcoholic. Yeah.
So I'm walking around the store drinking that, and I'm totally like, "Ooh, I should not be here."
Like lots of impulse shopping.
Yeah, we go there. Okay, they have a scratch and dent section in their produce area, and so we go there to buy scratch and dent produce for our chickens.
Oh, okay, that is right. You do have chickens.
Yeah. I'm like really a jack of all trades, and now I've added chicken farmer to the list.
Philip was just telling me last night he wants a turkey. Like, keep in mind we live in suburbia, and I was just like, a turkey? What are we gonna do with that? And he's like, it's like the peacock of your backyard or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. We should not have a turkey.
No, they're scary.
We have
big.
What is it like where you live? Do you live in like a small? I picture you living in some sort of like small, constantly snow-covered farm country. Is what I imagine you to live in.
So it's weird because Ohio is kind of like perfectly located. I didn't think that it was until I lived here. We get like a little bit of everything, but not to the extreme. So like we get some snow, but it's not like Michigan snow where like, the water's freezing in the air. Not every year. Every so often we have a bad winter. I have yet to see it. But it's humid during the summer. It's hot, but it's not like, ridiculously hot.
Well, nothing beats South Carolina. Like, I like to complain about it being hot in Tennessee, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so hot and humid. And then we like go back to South Carolina on the coast where we're from, and I'm just like, dear sweet Lord, like, this is horrible. Like, I cannot.
We went to visit our friends in North Carolina, and I thought I was gonna die.
Yeah, it's horrible. You literally walk outside, and you're just like, yeah, I'm over this. Let's go back inside.
Yeah, you're like drenched, and you can't breathe.
Yeah, no, it's no fun to be fat in the South. It's really not. Like,
yeah,
it's bad. Like, your boobs and your armpits and your thigh, like, anything.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yep. And the hair.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whew. Well, that's why big hair is so popular in the South, because you just, know.
Because it works.
Yeah, you just gotta, like, coat it with hairspray and then, like, pray, and then that's what you do. One of my favorite expressions is, like, the bigger the hair, the closer to God. That one always makes me laugh.
That is hysterical.
Yeah. Well, if you ever come to Tennessee, you have to come to Dollywood with us. And,
absolutely.
Because it's hysterical and one of our favorite places.
She was there because I would love to meet her.
Well, if you go in the Museum of Dolly, which is one of my favorite places because it has all of her wigs and costumes and stuff, but there's this one part in the beginning for the little kids, and there's actually a life-size hologram of Dolly Parton that, like, talks to you, and it's awesome, and then she turns into a butterfly and flies away.
My gosh.
It's my favorite part. Like, you would not want to go there if you were on any sort of drugs, because it would freak you out.
There's Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
And flying away.
And you're like, what is going on? But, everybody, that is one thing I love about Knoxville, is, like, everybody here is obsessed with Dolly Parton, so I've moved to the right place. So that's definitely awesome. Well, I will not keep you all night. I'm sure I will get you back on here again.
Do you see that creepy painting back there?
Is it like a zombie with dreadlocks?
Her name is Creep Girl.
Oh, where did that come from?
LA. I live in LA. I worked at a coffee shop, and one of my friends actually painted that.
Very cool.
Anyway, she's really creepy, and she's always behind me on camera.
Well, it's weird because, like, because it's pretty far behind you, like, you can't really tell what it is, so you're just always kind of, like, using your imagination there. Ooh, what's that cool hat over your shoulder, speaking of on camera?
That one?
Yeah.
That is, hold that thought. Ooh, that's with your yarn.
I know, I think I recognize it.
It's beautiful.
Okay, hold on. We gotta get the camera back over here where we can see what she's talking about. All right, everybody. Wait. Ooh, oh yeah, that's the one from the picture. I just posted this.
Yeah.
This is one of your most, like, spectacular things. So for the folks at home
So-
who have not seen Heidi's stuff, like, check it out. Now you see what I'm talking about.
Yeah. This is a like a basket weave.
That's
style.
crazy.
Okay. And that involves the front post and the back post stitching. But I'm like in love with the yarn.
Which yarn is that? It's it's a marine. Oh, I know which one that is.
Merino single ply.
So it's like this, except obviously not with bad light. This is gonna get 2-plied, but that's what this hat is made out of.
It's magical.
Awesome. Well, I'm really excited about this. What do you have any other, this is the shameless promotion plug part. Do you have any other exciting news or funny stories or anything you want to share with all the good folks on iTunes and YouTube?
Not really. I mean, I'm doing the holiday market. I don't know if anybody on here is from Ohio or the Cincinnati area, but the Greater Cincinnati Holiday Market at Duke Energy Convention Center, downtown Cincinnati, beginning of November. I will be there.
I'm excited. And you have really fantastic displays. I was jealous last year.
My husband makes them.
So go check them out.
Phenomenal.
They are. I bet everybody else there is really super jelly. So.
Yeah, people try to buy them off of us, and I'm like, they're too expensive. Sorry.
Like, go back to your plastic table, sir.
Sorry, you want to buy my table for $5,000? Sure.
Yeah. Like, you got to marry into this kind of craftsmanship, my friend. So.
Totally.
Well, that is great. And thank you so much for doing this with me. And this was a hoot.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll get you back on here soon. So next time you have anything, let me know what you're working on. Oh, we'll have to get you back on here for the great Outlander crochet along.
Oh, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
Alrighty. Well, I will let you go. And
okay.
I think this went much better. I did not drop the camera on anybody. I don't think I filmed my own body in awkward angles too often. So I think we're good. So, alrighty. Well, thank you. Say bye, Heidi.
Yes.
Bye. Okay. And this will hopefully the audio version of this will be on iTunes. So you'll be like iTunes famous here. I know. Well, this is assuming anyone besides my husband listens to it, but he will totally enjoy listening to this interview on the way to work. So that'll be exciting. All right. We'll talk to you later. Thank you.